defending what was a modest total in the end. But really, Netherlands could just bat sensibly and manoeuvre the ball, take on the bad one when they offered themselves up. But it's just been such good bowling from the spinners in particular. Yadav as well.
And then on the flip side of that, Mel, when Netherlands had fallen to 136 for 6 and just lost 2 wickets inside 4 runs, you suspected that Nepal might win and win quite handily. But a fighting effort, first from Kroos and Klein, and now Kyle Klein finding a willing ally in Roelof van der Merwe. Remember, Klein is very inexperienced internationally with the bat. This is his career best, 25. Nandan Yadav has a chance to show his death bowling skills. It's all going to come down to the final 4 overs. He'll have to re-bowl that one. Dead ball will be signalled. It's 33 to win off 24. All 3 results possible again.
Oh, Lenny. Oh, dear, oh dear. It has been, honestly, a most brilliant week and a half here up in Dundee.
And we got more to come, don't we? The ODI on Thursday and then 6 brilliant T20Is to come. And we move across to Glasgow for those. What can Nandan Yadav find? He starts with the dot ball. He's been impressive today, hasn't he? And this Achilles heel that has haunted Nepal for quite a while, their death bowling. Can they find a young man on ODI debut to start to fill that gap?
Well, he started the ball rolling with the wicket of Max O'Dowd right up at the beginning of this innings. So it was a great start from Yadav. Can he finish it off?
The question's going to be, it looks like Yadav's going to bowl 47 and 49, no doubt about that. Cut away, straight to the man who holds on, very well judged. And Yadav has his second international wicket on his debut. Have Nepal found what they've been looking for? Someone to hold their nerve at the death. It's van der Merwe who holds out. A good catch from Bim Sharkey. Nepal have 8.
What a moment for the young man coming in on debut. It was short, it was wide. Tried to get the elevation with the wind, but there was not enough on it. And, well, with these Nepal players in the field, you don't think they're going to drop them at the crunch moments. Oh, boy. Bim Sharkey it was with the catch. And van der Merwe, it was a fighting effort, but he departs on 16. Is there another twist yet to come, Lenny? I won't rule it out.
I'll just see a message now. At Cricket Badge, I cannot imagine a game more interesting than this. I think those harsh 10-run penalty will come into play. Well, they're already in play, aren't they? If it wasn't for that, it would be 43 to win off 22, and the game would be all but done and dust, you would imagine, particularly 8 down. Aryan Dutt is batting capable. It was there to be hit, wasn't it? But van der Merwe, I'm not sure where he was trying to go. Kind of frantically just swung the bat at it. The Nepal fans in the background love it. Big smile on the captain's face, Rohit Paudel. And yeah, for those wondering about those 10 penalty runs given in the first innings, the 36.3 and 39.2 for the batsman running on the pitch after a warning was assessed earlier in the 33rd over. Bashir Ahmed involved, also Arif Sheikh, who was the hero with the bat, was out there. He made 84. Poor Bashir Ahmed was caught soon after the second set of penalty runs were applied. Maybe the first one were somewhat understandable. The second one felt harsh. But Nepal, they have this game under control despite those 10 penalty runs. Aryan Dutt, the big tall man with the giant feet. Oh, he's 15 feet he has. He's in at number 10. Nepal's ground fielding, it's been electric, hasn't it? Led by this man yet again, Dipender Singh Airi.
Yeah, their ground fielding has just been outstanding. And they've kept the pressure on all the time. We've seen so many shies at the stumps. The Netherlands batters have spent almost as much time sprawled on their front as they have standing up. It's just been so chaotic, and that's what they've done too. They've drawn the Netherlands into their chaos, and that's where they operate the best.
Cut away will be a single because it's straight to Bim Sharkey. But what a final spell start from Nandan Yadav. Dot wicket, dot one. Now the task becomes ever taller and the microscope focuses on Kyle Klein squarely. Can he find acceleration? He's got a career best in international cricket, but he's only hit one boundary, that maximum off Tapendra Singh Airi. He needs to start finding a few more.
Yeah, rests on his shoulders now, batting with the tail, only 2 wickets in hand. He's going to have to control the strike as well as find the runs.
It's yet another frantic finish here in Dundee. Nepal maybe just hold the aces though with the runs on the board. Good delivery, the perfect Yorker. He's nailed that. It's just inside the guideline. Extra velocity out of the hand, the key. Are Nepal unearthing a death bowling star here that they desperately need?
Well, it's been the missing part of the puzzle, and that is absolutely outstanding. The wide Yorker, perfectly executed, and it's been the weakness, if you will, for this Nepal side and their bowling and who to turn to at the end. But so far, Yadav has done a brilliant job coming back into the attack.
This time just a little too wide, gets it outside the guideline, but you can see the plan, can't you? And with the field that he's got set, it makes a lot of sense. Deep third, the man out at deep point, and, you know, probably worst case, slashed away for a couple. It's
a good plan. It's perfectly sensible. And you just look at this over so far. Well, the one wide, they'll live with that. If he's able to nail this last one or keep it to a single.
I do think he can get better as well. Of course he can. He's only on his ODI debut, but as he gets stronger and his conditioning improves, he could get even quicker. Exciting times this for Nandan Yadav. He's hit towards Rohit Paudel, who takes the catch, and that's going to be all but that. And what a debut the young man is having. Many will have felt that his future was going to lay in Australia, but his mother said, "You must come back to Nepal." Mothers, we said they're always right, and Nandan Yadav, Nepal have unearthed a new star here.
Comes back into the bowling and gets 2 wickets because Rohit Paudel is never going to drop those. What a moment this is for the young man. Brilliant coming into the side, making his debut right at the end of this particular round of matches, and boy has he had an impact. They're 1 wicket away now as Paul van Meekeren comes in, last man standing. It's just been such, I wouldn't say a clinical effort in the field because it's had that element of chaos, but it's been clinical chaos, Lenny, if that makes sense.
Well, kind of, but there's been plenty of madness in there, and certainly the Dutch have got drawn into the mire. Well, the 10th wicket partnership's going to have it all to do, and they'll have Sandeep Lamechhane to face. It's a desperately difficult position now from here. The headband's going to go on. Don't know who's going to be player of the match today because everyone's played their part. Maybe Arif Sheikh with the bat will hold the edge. Good catch, but a special mention for the debutant. 3 wickets for him. He's been so good, hasn't he? He really has. And you just wonder, are Nepal standing on the brink of making it 3 from 4 in foreign conditions? It could have been all 4, couldn't it? Apart from a heartbreaking 2-run defeat. We're seeing the most brilliant series, Mel. And finally, maybe it's fitting that Sandeep Lamechhane could bowl the winning delivery.
I think it might be only the second time, should they finish this off now, that they've won 3 away in a round of this ICC Cricket World Cup League 2. They won 3 in the UAE in 2023, I believe.
Yeah, that was the penultimate series of the whole thing. And they won 4 at home on the bounce against Scotland and Namibia. Then they went away to the UAE. They won 3 from 4. A couple of chaotic games there, including Lamechhane needing to get 40 with the bat to pull off a miracle. I think that was against Papua New Guinea. And then they won 4 on the bounce at home to win 11 from 12. The 11 miracles in 12 games that rounded out that last series. We're not quite towards the latter stages of this competition yet, but Nepal are certainly raising the pulses, raising the heart rates yet again. This Cricket World Cup League 2 table, if they close out this win now, which surely they're going to do, well, it is going to be an absolute logjam by December 2025. I'll tell you that much. And we'll be in for a fantastic and spectacular finish. I think any one of 7 teams could take those 4 spots now. Maybe just the UAE in trouble. But this is too tall a task, surely, for Arjan Dutt and Paul van Meeker, and it's not their job to do it with the bat. Lamechhane's been brilliant today, Mel.
Yeah, he has. But you could say that about any number of players, particularly in this bowling lineup, Lenny.
Nicely driven down the ground. The problem is that scoreboard pressure is going to come into play. Kept saying that because of the quality of spin that they have, they could do that. And I think that's going to be the case. They may end up being bowled all out, but a lot of those wickets have come because of the pressure of that scoreboard, because of the required run rate spiralling. It's now over 2 runs a ball needed. 30 required. Sorry, exactly 2 runs a ball. 30 required. 15 balls to do it. The penalty runs may matter not. Big appeal. Sandeep Lamechhane's convinced, but the umpire is not. Wrapped him on the pad. No bat involved. What's this missing? But outside the line, isn't he? Good decision. Lalit Rajbanshi's just been asked to run 75, 80 yards to switch with Arif Sheikh because for some reason they didn't want Rajbanshi out at long off. I don't know why he was there in the first place. I don't think that's where Paul van Meeker is going to hit. Everything will target the leg side here. There's 2 men in the deep out there. Beautiful June sunshine bathing the ground. That's exactly where he's going to try and hit. We'll just get a single.
But you go back to those 3 away wins in the UAE. Different proposition coming to Scotland and winning.
And also, with due respect, Mel, to the UAE and PNG, different quality and calibre of opposition. Talking about 2 of the best associate teams that there's been across the course of the last decade. This is a Dutch side that were beating South Africa and Bangladesh at the 50-over World Cup in 2023. This is okay, they're missing some county players, of course they are, but they're in their home conditions, in European conditions. That'll end Sandeep Lamechhane's spell. It's 48 bowled. It's 209 for 9. Great effort from him today. Not at his best 2 days ago. None for 69. Look at the turnaround today. 10 overs, 3 for 39. Maybe the headband is the secret, the magic potion. I think we'll see that next game too, won't we?
I think we will, knowing the way that many cricketers work. Yeah, that just the 3 wickets, economy rate of 3.9, did exactly what he needed to today.
And he's then wearing the headband as kind of a double wraparound on the wrist. So definitely some kind of a lucky charm. Looking forward to hearing the story behind that.
Multi-purpose.
So Yadav will bowl his 9th. He's got a chance for a 4-wicket haul on debut.
So what you were saying about the calibre of opposition and the very different conditions, then I think we make a case that this has been their best performance away from home during the ICC Cricket World Cup League 2.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. I speculated if they could win 2 from 4 in these conditions, they'd be doing really well. For the Dutch, though, we've got questions to answer. Unless they can pull off a miracle here, that's not going to help. Big swing and a miss. 28 it is to win off now just 11 deliveries. They are staring down the barrel of 4 defeats on the bounce. And you think this is a Dutch side who got a rude awakening and a wake-up call out in Muscat in Oman. But then they turned it all around. They won 5 on the bounce after that. And if you include the defeat to Scotland that rounded out their home series, it will be 4 defeats in the row.
And they've got to turn it around. They've still got a game to play against Scotland. And they certainly, if they don't want to make it 4 from 4, they definitely don't want to make it 5 from 5.
It's a good shot just over the head of Rohit Powell. Bounces off the turf, but the skipper somehow drags it in. Unbelievable effort. Very nearly creates a run-out chance too. They'll end up getting 3. Well, we've seen some brilliant fielding today. Probably none better than this from the captain, Rohit Powdell, as Anil Shah looks in a spot of bother. How did he catch this one up? How did he cut it off?
Because he's superhuman. That's how, Lenny. The speed. Once he realised the catch wasn't on, he just zipped into sixth gear. That is outstanding. Even the awareness of where his front foot was sliding. Brilliant, brilliant stuff from the captain.
They've got 4 or 5 truly world-class fielders, don't they? Don't think Anil Shah will thank Nandan Yadav for that throw. 3 to the total. 25 to win off 10 now for Netherlands. Can they start to get something going? 24 off 10. Van Meekeren is capable. He's got big long levers. Constantly talks about how he's improving his batting. Can he get a couple out of the screws from this over? Because you've got to remember, I think it'll be Karen KC to bowl the 50th and final, unless he turns to Dipender Singh Ari. They're really the only 2 options.
You can't tell me there's another twist coming, Lenny. You can't tell me there's another twist coming.
Maximum this over. Make it 15 off the final if you can. You just never know. Another all-time classic here in Dundee. Seen so many good games, haven't we? Really have. Blessed for the competitive nature of this league. Every fan on their feet again. This one's powered through the offside. A really good strike. Flies to the rope. The Dutch hanging about. Van Meekeren says this game is not over yet. It flies for a boundary and it silences the Nepal fans in the crowd.
Well, who cares if he's number 11? He just gave a lovely clean swing through the ball. Well placed in the end. Not even the best dive could have stopped that one. Oh boy, hang on to your woolly hat, Lenny. It ain't over.
It ain't over till it's over, particularly when Nepal are involved. The Dutch, they still believe 20 to win, 9 balls to do it. Another boundary would help. Oh, misses out. And a scream of frustration. He's got to run the single. Oh, and I'll tell you something. We're not going to have an obstruction in the field call, thank God, because he just held his line, but he was too focused on his frustration of missing out. This was, well, absent-minded from Van Meekeren at best. You could hear his frustration. He thought it was there to be hit, but no appeal from Powdell or from any of the fielders. This would have been an insane end. Look at him here. He just realised he had to run at the last second. Now, the throw was wide anyway, and he didn't change his line, so nothing wrong with that. If he was run out like that to finish, well, it would have summed it all up. Dipender Singh Ari got so quick to the ball. Van Meekeren said, we've still got to run. Okay, 19 to win, 8 to do it. They need a boundary from one of these 2 balls, and then who knows, hitting with the wind off the 50th and final. There could be life in this game yet. Oh, missed out. It was in the slot, but a little bit of tail back in. And good skills from Yadav, but should Dud have got bat on ball here.
Well, it's a good delivery. Look at that tail in, though. That's good bowling. Look at where Anil Shah ended up taking that ball.
It's just the extra pace, isn't it, of Yadav that makes the difference. If that's coming in at KC's pace, that probably goes out of the ground. It was right in the slot, to be honest with you. But the additional velocity and the little bit of movement back in was just enough. Dutt still should have probably done more, though. 19 to win off 7. A 4 or 6 here. And we could be set up for another barnstormer. The 10th wicket trying to get it done for the Netherlands. They're still fighting. Slashed into the offside. Should be at least 1. I don't think they'll get the second. Nepal's ground fielding has really held up wonderfully well. We're going all the way to the 100th and final over for the 4th time in 5 matches. And for the 4th time, or the 3rd time in 4 Nepal matches, it's 219 for 9.
Well, cardiac kids, you've done it again. I know my heart is absolutely pounding as we look here at the bowling figures for Nepal. They should all hold their heads high. Then they're having a big discussion at the moment just about who is going to bowl this last over, I think. It looks like they've just patted Karen Casey on the back.
Well, there was only 2 options really, wasn't there? Unless they turned to a 7th bowler. Was it Dipender Singh Ari or was it Karen KC? Ari can bowl at the death. He's a good option at the death, but just wonder whether or not this is the right call. It's a tall task for the Dutch. KC's got 18 to protect. He had a couple of good deliveries away that don't go to the rope. You should be able to close it out, but never say never. He will be hitting with the breeze. Slightly, nowhere near as strong as the last few days. And if anything, the breeze might have just turned about a touch. Don't know where Dutt is going to target. I've given up on predicting things with the week that we've had, Mel.
No, well, I was just going to say, you're right. Those flags are flying in the opposite direction that they have been all week. I think the wind has turned around.
It may well have. And if you look at the way in which that ball died, the one that Van der Merwe hit into the offside, prevailing wind has moved. I think it means that Arjen Dutt, if anything, might target the offside. And if you look at the field, it looks like Casey's going to come round the wicket, target outside the off stump. There might be an opportunity to slash a few away here. He's just sort of shadow batting. Yeah, there it is. It's the... It makes it all the stranger that circle here, Mel. Easily could see an edge for 4, an edge that could fly all the way down the hill for 6.
What you're saying is if you're going to flash hard and true.
Well, there's going to be bat speed aplenty, isn't there? Okay, 18 to win off 6. We're going all the way yet again. Can the Dutch pull it out of the fire? It would be extraordinary if they can. Here's Karen Casey.